like all of you, for coming out today and showing your love and support for my dad. You know, I know he has made a great impact with anyone that he's ever come in contact with, and it really just shows tonight that you guys really care about him as much as I care about him. And, you know, I really cannot say enough how much I appreciate this. Again, you know, we are sorry about the weather, and it's a little crowded in here, but at this point I don't really care. I think we all just love him, and we're in a room filled with love. So thank you guys, and here's Chloe.
Real quick. So I just want to take a few moments of everyone's time to thank y'all for being here and for the ongoing support you've shown my dad through this journey as he learns to navigate life with kidney failure. From the bottom of my heart, and I know I speak for my family as well, thank you for all of you who've gotten yourself tested to see if you're a match, spread the news that he needs a kidney, and for your continued prayers for healing. At this time, I'd just like to recognize my dad and the contributions he has made and continues to make to his community. As many of you know, my dad's an active member and past district governor of Rotary International, the president of the North Carolina Pest Management Association, the president of Cleveland County's own H&H Pest Control and Waterproofing, the vice chairman and the board of trustees for Cleveland Community College.
I'm the chairman now, Eddie.
Oh, sorry. And, well, Google needs to update it then. That's on Google.
He's like the big boss.
A deacon and a heavily involved member of Elizabeth Baptist Church, a chairman for the Cleveland County Board of Elections, the chairman of the Shelby City Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, and probably a few other things that I'm missing. His commitment to improving our community is something I hold close to my heart, as it is my wish to someday build a family right here in the community where my sister and I were raised. All this being said, something else I hold close to my heart is the health and well-being of my dad. I can't tell you the number of times I've spoken to him after his dialysis appointments, which he attends 3 times a week, and he sounds utterly exhausted. I'll often ask him, "Have you had anything to eat today?" And he usually responds, "I forgot," or "I haven't had time." As if this isn't worrisome enough, this man will go on week-long trips for NC Pest Management or with the community college and not have dialysis while he's away. He is professional when it comes to putting things on the back burner. And if you call him out on it, it rarely gets through that big old hard head of his. If you'll recall, this man was in the ICU for 2 weeks, driving those poor nurses nuts, and it took his kidney function to drop below 5% for him to finally give in and go to the hospital. What I want to say to each of you is I know that you love my dad. It's evident. I know you care about his health and his well-being just like his family does. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. What I ask is that you'll understand the importance of my dad slowing down and prioritizing his health before he ends up back in the ICU, checking emails, and taking phone calls from the hospital bed. Now, the last thing I want to do is stand up here and fuss at y'all for my dad being so involved in this, that, and the third. He's a grown man and he can make his own decisions. Just please be mindful that while we wait for a kidney, he needs to take it slow. Think twice before asking for a favor. Consider an alternative option for help. Consider doctor's appointments and dialysis appointments before inviting him on a trip. And lastly, remember that while it is near and dear to me to build a family and the community my dad has helped prosper, it's even more important to me that my dad is around to walk me down the aisle and hold his grandbaby someday. I thank y'all for your time, and thank you for being here to support my dad. Vamos de fiesta!
And thank you so much, Allen, for this opportunity to come and share. Being the living donor coach of Atrium Health, I've only been in this role since January, but my passion, like we mentioned just in sharing, my passion is I wish every single kidney patient could find a living kidney donor. And one of the reasons is because there's over 90,000 people in the United States now that need a kidney. Over 90,000 people. That number is just crazy when you think about it. And one of the things is there's so many benefits to donating a kidney and getting a living donor kidney. And one of the benefits is that one is it's a higher quality It's a higher quality kidney itself. So for instance, now I'm not putting down deceased kidneys that people, when you get on the registry and you pass away and somebody has, you say that you want somebody to get your kidney after you pass away. That's important as well. But I tell you what, of course, a deceased donor kidney or a living donor's kidney, we will take that living donor's kidney any day of the week, because it's a better quality kidney, and typically the patient, they will do better with that kidney. Also, there's a shorter wait time, because when somebody steps up and says, yes, I want to volunteer, I want to get worked up, and they might be a match, they're medically compatible for that person, well then, when you do that, that person gets off of the wait list. And so we're making that wait list shorter. Also, there's scheduled surgery. You get a chance to schedule your surgery pretty much in that regard. So that again, for instance, we'll just use Allen because we're hoping and praying that he's going to get that living kidney donor. And so when that person's able to step up, and then Allen and that donor can perhaps schedule the day or the week or something that they want to do it, so they can let their family and friends and all of that to be there as a part of that process. And so one of the main things I want to mention also is that the kidney lasts longer. For instance, and I have some brochures that I brought with me that you all can, I'll put them on the table over there. And so deceased with living donation is 20 to 40 years that somebody can live with a living kidney donor, their kidney. And then 10 to 15 years on average for a deceased donor kidney. So again, like the saying is, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. So you see the importance of this. The other thing I want to mention is advocacy, and you are hitting it spot on tonight. And I host webinars, and I'm going to be sure to tell my patients, I'm going to add this to my webinar, that one of my patients hosted this wonderful event. It had its family and friends, and like we like to call you your living donor champions. That's what you all are, because you are here to help him spread the word, share his story. I was recently, a few months ago, I was on the panel for the National Kidney Foundation, and one of the stories that was told there is there was this couple, they really didn't want to share a whole lot. Some people that need kidney transplants, they don't want to tell their stories, they don't want to, talk too much about it, that kind of things. They kind of reserved about it. But the fact is that they decided to put it on Facebook. And they just did it a little bit, and some close friends shared their stories. And I'll put my fingers up because a friend of a friend of a friend donated to the husband that needed it. A friend of a friend of a friend. So you just don't know where that person is. And like when I do webinars and stuff, I'm like, hey, take the business cards. I think you said you have some business cards to hand out. They have the QR codes on the back. Just hand them out like the old school saying, la-di-da-di, and everybody. Just hand them out wherever you can. People that you know, just let people know Allen's story and where he is. And the other thing is the questionnaire. So when you get the questionnaire, that's something, pass out the business cards, they have the QR code on the back, fill out the questionnaire. And some people say, well, I have this, or I have that, or I don't think I'm able, I don't think I'm a match, or he's an A and I'm a B. The thing I say is, just fill out the questionnaire. Submit the questionnaire and stay in your lane and let the medical professionals decide whether or not you're medically compatible. And even if you're not, there's such thing as a kidney swap. And so, this donor over here might not be a match for that recipient, but then this donor down here might not be a match for that fourth person, but then they do the swap. So there's some things, some information in the brochure that I have here.
So we found out he needed a kidney. My wife and I praying for him for months and months, to have someone step forward and give him a kidney, be a donor. But what hit me was when I saw the QR code on Facebook. It's like, we're the same age. We're about the same size. Then I saw that I had the right blood type. I really believed it was God's will for me to go forward with this. So I did scan the QR code on Facebook, and I filled out the questionnaire and left it up to the officials. So I passed. So I went and did the blood test, passed blood test, And at this point, we kept it a secret. Somehow it got out. I'm not sure, but word got out that I'm going to Baptist Hospital to do all the checks. So everybody was anticipating I'm going through all the checks. So did all the checks. Well, I came back with bad news. I couldn't be a donor. In fact, they found a large mass in my colon, and actually it was a crucial catch. So I got my own doctors. I got for some reason I still can't figure out why. I mean, the mass was like this big, but they take out like a foot of the colon. So I got like a foot of the colon removed. They did confirm it was colon cancer, and they did tell me did not spread yet. So they got it in time. So again, it was a crucial catch, and they say that being a donor could save a life. Well, it might have just saved mine. So just like Hezekiah got his extra 15 years in the Bible, I think Lord willing, extra 15 years, and I checked out okay so far, and I think I'll be fine. And surgery, if you're thinking about the surgery, I had the same kind of surgery. It's really the same, I've been told, about the same recovery. It's really not that bad, actually. So I've recovered. It's been 1 month now, and you'll be sore here for about a month. After that, you'll be fine if you decide to come forward and be a donor.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Allen, for inviting me. Good to see so many folks that I haven't seen in a long time, so it really is good to see you. I did ask earlier about how long you wanted me to talk, and I was not given an answer, so I could go on longer than you, but I won't. But, I've kind of lost track of the time, but I think it was about 20 years ago that at a routine checkup, routine lab work, one thing in the lab work came back negative or a little abnormal. It was the protein in my urine, and I thought, what does that mean? Big deal. And they said, but we're going to refer you to a nephrologist. I went, very wonderful, nice doctor, and he said, I need you to come in at least twice a year to have lab work done. I did not feel bad. I had high blood pressure, had for years, but I thought it was under control. I was on medication for many years. Other than that, nothing. Had no symptoms that I knew of. I continued to see the doctor, have labs done for many years. He sent me to specialists all over North Carolina trying to figure out what was going on with my kidneys, because there really didn't seem to be any reason for that. No one in my family had ever had kidney disease. They're just and to jump to the end on that part, they never could figure out. It's in my records that it's idiopathic. There was no reason for me to have kidney failure. I do remember him telling me, limit your salt, drink lots of water, get your weight under control, things like that. And again, because I felt good, I just probably did not listen like I should have. Fast forward to spring of 2010. As Dr. Hurst said, I worked at the Arts Council, and we were busy. We were setting up an exhibit, had tons of things going on in my life. I started feeling bad. I just thought, I'm old, I'm out of shape, I'm overweight. That's all it is. Went to the doctor, had my blood pressure checked. They said, they're putting you in the hospital, and if you don't go to the hospital, we'll be planning your funeral. That got my attention real fast. Spent about a week at the hospital. I was one of those that didn't want to talk about it. I didn't even want my church members to know. I had my husband just tell people, she's having some high blood pressure issues, she's going to be fine, it's going to be okay. I just didn't want people to know. In my mind, if people found out that I had kidney disease, they would think that I was dying. And they would think that I couldn't keep working, that I couldn't keep being in Rotary, that I couldn't keep being on the school board, that I couldn't do the things that were so important to me. Finally, after a week, my pastor told me, he said, Shara, if you don't tell people what's going on, they're gonna make up something. They're gonna have you, they truly are gonna think that you're halfway in the grave. I said, you're right, you're right. So we let a few people know. I never really felt the power of prayer until at that time. Not only did my parents have people in Charlotte praying for me, we had people all over Cleveland County praying for me. People I didn't know. Had someone come in the Arts Council one day, and right there at the front door, she said, let's pray, let's pray. We stood right there at the front door and prayed. I had never felt that feeling until then, and whew, you're feeling it, a lot of you feel it, you know it. My kidney function at that time was down around 5 to 6%, and what I was told was what you said, that if you don't go on dialysis, then you don't really have a chance. Those are tough words to hear, but it's not the end of the world.